In a recent operation that shook the Bryansk region, Ukraine launched a tactical strike that destroyed a significant target, a Russian FSB facility. How did Ukraine manage to carry out such a precise attack? On July 24, 2025, a recording began circulating. It shows a cross-border precision military strike that clearly shook the area, captured in footage shared on the Telegram channel Sonyashnik. The target was a Russian border guard post and a Federal Security Service or FSB base located near the village of Belaya Beryoska. In the recorded moment, it is clearly seen how the building was completely destroyed due to the highly targeted and devastating attack. This strike was carried out with the help of two French-made precision-guided hammer bombs, known as AASM, marking the peak of Kiev's military operation capabilities in executing attacks on high-value military and security targets within Russian territory. Recent satellite images, along with reports from local sources, have confirmed that the damage at the attack site was severe, showcasing the effectiveness of this strike in weakening Russia's security positions in the area. This significant moment not only marks the success of a strategic and measured precision airstrike, but also reflects a substantial improvement in Ukraine's military capabilities to respond to threats and strike vital targets deep behind enemy lines without giving them a chance to react directly. Although Russian authorities have yet to issue an official comment on the incident, the circulating video clearly shows the dramatic moments of the launch and the impact of the AASM bomb on the target. The atmosphere in the video is tense, from the precise moment the bomb is launched to the massive explosion that shakes the building and creates rubble beneath a clear sky, contrasting sharply with the destruction below. There are other similar stories involving weapons that carry out such tasks, but they remain alike in nature. At that time, the sky above southern Ukraine appeared calm, with clouds hanging low and a thin fog enveloping the small villages scattered among the wheat fields. However, this tranquility was only temporary. Within minutes, the sound of Ukrainian fighter jets roaring from behind the horizon shattered the silence. Beneath their wings, French-made Hammer guided bombs were ready to be launched, highly precise weapons designed to incapacitate the enemy from a long distance without having to penetrate deep into the heart of Russia's air defense. On April 25th, a recording circulated, marking a new chapter in the prolonged conflict. Ukraine launched a series of strategic airstrikes on key Russian military positions. The primary targets this time, heavy artillery and Russian logistical infrastructure. Near the village of Peremazhny, a massive explosion shook the ground as a French-made hammer-guided bomb directly hit a Russian Tu-36 Gyatsint-B howitzer, a 152mm caliber weapon. This type of artillery was not just an ordinary cannon. The Gyatsint-B was the backbone of Russia's firepower in open battlefields. With a range of over 28 kilometers and the ability to fire high-explosive projectiles, this cannon was used to pressure Ukrainian positions, destroy defensive lines, and support infantry attacks. But now, what could Russia do? Shortly after, other artillery positions were also wiped out. Precision strikes also targeted a unit from the 22nd Separate Guards Special Forces Brigade, one of Russia's elite units trained for deep operations and sabotage. They were not stationed on the rear lines, they were at the front lines of the battle, and their presence signified Russia's preparation for a large-scale offensive. By targeting Russia directly, Ukraine was not only eliminating threats, but also disrupting the chain of command, slowing down the momentum of the enemy's offensive. However, perhaps the most decisive blow was the destruction of an ammunition warehouse hidden in the forest near Zherebyanka, in the Zaporizhzhia region. A massive explosion rocked the area, setting surrounding trees ablaze and sending a cloud of black smoke into the sky. Such warehouses served as vital logistical hubs, supplying ammunition, rockets, and weapons to frontline units. An attack on them not only caused immediate devastation, but also created a supply crisis whose effects would be felt for days, even weeks. Through this operation, Ukraine once again demonstrated its growing ability to integrate Western technology like the Hammer AASM bombs with local combat strategies. These weapons allowed Ukrainian fighter jets to carry out precision strikes from beyond the reach of Russian air defense missiles, thus avoiding the high risks often faced by pilots. More than just a series of attacks, what transpired was part of a systematic campaign to erode Russian combat power along the southern front. The targets attacked, from heavy artillery to special forces and logistical hubs, were the foundations of Russia's military capability. Destroying them meant weakening their ability to attack, defend, and control territory. And when the sky returned to silence, only the rising smoke and scorched earth remained as silent witnesses to the fact that Russia's power, slowly but surely, was being eroded by Western strategy and technology. What must Russia realize about the lethality of Western-made weapons? In early 2024, Ukraine began operating one of the advanced Western weapons, the French-made AASM Hammer precision-guided bomb. AASM, which stands for Armement Air-Sol Modulaire, is an ammunition system designed to transform conventional bombs into high-precision weapons, making them more effective at destroying highly specific targets. Although similar to the American-made Joint Direct Attack munition, the AASM offers unique features that set it apart, particularly its integrated rocket motor, which extends its range. This rocket motor provides a significant advantage for the AASM in the context of a highly dynamic battlefield, such as in Ukraine. The advantage of the AASM lies in its ability to cover long distances, whether at low or high altitudes. When dropped from low altitude, the bomb can still reach targets up to 15 kilometers away, while at high altitude, its range can exceed 70 kilometers. This allows Ukrainian aircraft to conduct precision strikes on more distant targets without having to enter air defense zones protected by Russia. As a result, Ukrainian aircraft can strike more safely, reducing the risk of being hit by advanced Russian air defense systems while optimizing their strike capabilities. The AASM Hammer comes in two main variants, Hammer 250 and Hammer 1000. The first variant, the Hammer 250, is designed for the 227 kg Mark 82 bomb, while the second variant, the Hammer 1000, is designed for the 908 kg Mark 84 bomb. Both variants are equipped with various guidance systems that can be adapted to field conditions, such as inertial guidance, GPS, laser, or even infrared. With these multiple guidance options, the AASM can be used in various weather and time conditions, providing great flexibility for the Ukrainian Air Force. It's truly impressive to imagine the power of the AASM on the battlefield scale. This bomb can destroy even highly protected military facilities such as air defense systems or command centers with a high level of accuracy. It is a prime example of the advancements in Western military technology, which continue to reshape the nature of modern warfare. In Ukraine, where tensions with Russia are rising, weapons like the AASM Hammer provide significant strategic advantages. Even in a desperate situation, precision weapons like the AASM give Ukraine the tools to defend itself and retaliate more effectively. Business Insider reports that France, which has seen the impact of the AASM Hammer's use in Ukraine, is ramping up its production. Safran Electronics and Defense, the company that manufactures the AASM bomb, has stated that they plan to increase production by more than 40% in 2024. Their production target for next year is approximately 1,200 AASMs, up from 830 in 2024. They even plan to double this production figure in the coming years if demand continues to rise. However, there is still no clarity on how many AASM bombs will be sent to Ukraine. Despite the high demand, the French company has indicated that the exact number to be delivered to the Ukrainian military is yet to be determined. Nonetheless, Safran has stated that the AASM has been tested in combat and has proven effective in destroying Russian military targets, showing how dangerous this weapon can be on the battlefield. This success is likely to encourage other Western countries to provide further support to Ukraine in its conflict with Russia. This situation illustrates the importance of precision technology in modern warfare, enabling Ukrainian forces to destroy targets with a high degree of damage while minimizing the risk of broader infrastructure destruction. The AASM has become a symbol of Western military support to Ukraine, an example of how modern weapons can be used to respond to large military threats in a more measured and targeted way. It's important to note that although the AASM is an advanced weapon, its presence in Ukraine adds a new dimension to the already prolonged conflict. With the increasing production and use of precision weapons like the AASM, it is hoped that Ukraine will be able to defend itself longer and more effectively, given the increasingly imbalanced combat conditions between Russia and Ukraine. However, as with other advanced weapons, the long-term impact of AASM usage on geopolitical dynamics still needs to be observed, as the potential for further escalation in this conflict remains very real. Let's rewind a bit. Since the start of the major conflict that shook the world in 2022, Ukraine has become the focal point of global attention, not only because of the tragic impact it has had on the country, but also because of the extraordinary response Ukraine has received from dozens of countries around the world. These countries, many of which are NATO members, quickly moved to provide military support. In the military context, the assistance coming from Western allies has been highly significant. From long-used equipment to relatively new ones, Ukraine has received various types of advanced weaponry, which not only enhance their combat capabilities, but also test the effectiveness of these systems in harsh modern combat conditions. One of the largest forms of aid Ukraine has received is the shipment of guided multiple launch rocket systems. These launch vehicles, known as M142 and M270 in the United States, offer highly precise long-range strike capabilities. With GPS programming that allows them to direct missiles to targets with high accuracy, these systems enable Ukraine to strike enemy forces and infrastructure far behind the front lines. The M270, with its tracked wheels, and the M142, with wheels, are both designed to operate at high speeds, much faster than conventional artillery, and can launch an entire salvo of rockets in just minutes after reaching the firing position. This provides extraordinary strategic flexibility for Ukrainian forces when facing counterattacks or supporting their offensive operations. In addition to rocket systems, Ukraine has also received various types of self-propelled artillery from Western countries, including the M109, AS-90, Caesar, Panzerhaubitze 2000, Krab, Zuzana 24, and Archer. These self-propelled artillery systems, each carrying long-range and highly precise firing capabilities, provide a significant advantage in countering Russia's large and heavy military forces. Artillery like this allows Ukrainian forces to conduct long-range strikes and quickly adjust their fire in dynamic battlefields. Additionally, armored vehicles, including the M113, Marder, Bulldog, Bradley, and Stryker, have also been sent in significant numbers, offering added protection to Ukrainian troops as they move through hazardous terrain. Each of these vehicles is designed to provide support in combat, both in direct ground battles and in broader operations involving infantry and artillery. Although this military aid is crucial, Ukraine does not solely rely on new and advanced equipment. They also face real challenges in operating Western equipment, which is not always compatible with their military doctrine and experience. For example, the French tanks sent to Ukraine require special training to ensure that Ukrainian forces can maximize the potential of these vehicles on the battlefield. NATO forces' experience in operating and coordinating tanks with other systems, such as artillery and infantry, has been a valuable lesson for Ukrainian forces. Throughout this conflict, Ukraine has quickly learned how to adapt and improve their operational capabilities with Western equipment. However, what's most fascinating about this development is the emergence of new technologies that are changing the way battles are fought, particularly the use of drones. On the Ukrainian battlefield, drones have become an essential and inseparable element. Drones, once considered a secondary or supplementary tool in warfare, have now become a primary weapon in airstrikes and reconnaissance. The presence of drones has revolutionized how Ukraine identifies and destroys enemy targets, as well as reducing risks for ground forces. However, some argue that, while drones offer advantages in many aspects, their use does not always guarantee high effectiveness. For instance, attack drones are often vulnerable to counterattacks or even thwarted by increasingly sophisticated enemy air defense systems. In addition to drones, electronic warfare and communication systems are also playing an increasingly important role. The ability to intercept and disrupt enemy communications has become one of the key factors in modern warfare. Since the beginning of the conflict, Ukraine has successfully leveraged this technology to cut Russian communication lines, hinder the coordination of their forces, and intercept vital information used to plan counterattacks. Through more advanced communication technology and electronic surveillance, Ukrainian forces have been able to improve their awareness and enhance coordination among units on the battlefield, which is a critical factor in facing Russia's far superior strength. Overall, while Ukraine has overcome many challenges in acquiring, operating, and utilizing the advanced military equipment provided by Western countries, they have also demonstrated remarkable resilience and capability in adapting new tactics, technologies, and strategies. With continuous aid flowing from their allies and ongoing technological innovations, Ukraine is in an increasingly stronger position to fight against Russia. Are there any NATO weapons you hope will arrive in Ukraine? Leave your comment below, and thanks for watching.